Hello folks, it has been a while since I uploaded a video. Summer has been busy with different things in real life, so I was not really playing on the PC. Now with the weather changing and it's getting colder outside, I'm again playing in VR and not with real toys. And I'm playing the new version of Out of Ore. There has been a lot of changes in the game, and I want to see how the version 25 works with the UE VR mod. In my last video about Out of Ore in VR, I did not explain how to set up and get the game running. It's actually quite easy. You get the UE VR mod, you install it. You fire up your VR headset, in my case Steam VR with my Valve Index. You fire up UE VR, you launch it, and then you start the game you want to inject VR into, in our case Out of Ore. Then you select the executable of Out of Ore, inject everything, and it should work pretty much right from the start. I have not changed anything in UE VR. I'm still using the old version 1.0 of the UE VR mod. I have no performance issues with it, so I did not change it. There are only about two things that I changed. And the first is under main options in this UE VR application settings window is always show cursor. That's because in Out of Ore, if I don't have always show cursor on, the mouse cursor will disappear and I will no longer able to precisely navigate the menu and the store, and so I have to keep it on. Also, it kind of irritates me because when I'm in first person, I have 2 points where I have to look at, the center point, which actually you're moving with the mouse, and then I have the cursor running around on the screen, and sometimes I get confused. So if I go into the gameplay and you see myself being slightly confused about where I am and what I'm aiming at, that's exactly because my eyes track the mouse cursor and not the center dot. So that is the first thing I changed. And what I also did is this no input keybinds. Under keybind, I set a recenter key because if you fire up everything and you put your VR headset on, you most likely will not see anything in Out of Ore, and that's just simply because on the first startup, when VR is injected, the game does seem to center the view anywhere but where it should be. And so the first thing is put your HMD on, hit the button key to recenter view, and then you should see something like this screen over here. And these are the only two things I did. So with that being said, we can go into the gameplay. I've actually built a nice new little operation. Let's do it here. I've done a nice little new operation on Mining Town hardcore mode. You see, I've already put some effort into it. I'm currently at 250,000 credits around. I started with 100,000 as it's in hardcore mode. Took up a loan of 200k. I already paid the loan off, and now you see I've set up my selling point, my trommel, and here I have a rather good lithium iron ore spot. We will take a look. I should have also this not canceling. I should also have this quest for iron ore. It's already the second I will do. And one thing that I did here is, you see this over here, the overburden and the surplus that I don't need will not be sold. So I need a place to store it. And I decided to try and start to fill up this valley over here. You see on the other side I think there's a lot of coal over there. And so I move in this direction, and we will see how far we get, because for some reason, look at this pile and look at the rather small size of my pit. I'm not sure if I can get through with this, because it seems that I produce a little bit more dirt than I actually remove. So what we also have down here, you should see performance running. It's everything smooth, 80 FPS. I could slightly increase the resolution by 4% compared to my last video, so now I'm no longer running at an application resolution. This does not matter. Now I run at a total resolution of 2124 by 2360 per eye. Game looks nice, sound is good. So first thing we do at the moment is, I think we should clean this up. Clean the excavator up before we start to work. Yeah. It's an old one. So now, having done this, she's fueled up, so everything should be ready. Something that did not really change is that you need to be careful when you're sitting here in the cabin. Don't touch your mouse. What I do is to get the cursor out of the way, you know, like this. I go in some menu, put it down there, and it will disappear. And then everything's fine. HUD is, because of my rather wide desktop resolution, out on the right and left. So when I look ahead, I don't really have something in my view, but still have the indications on the right-hand side. What is really nice about the new version of Out of Ore is, you see, like this, I have moving joysticks, and this really adds to the immersion here in the cabin. And the new dirt, you know, I really like the balls, and I still think the balls made Out of Ore unique. Yet the balls caused some issues. The new dirt, I will not say that new dirt is issue-free, but it kind of seems to work properly and it's performing good. What is still present here, and you need to keep this in mind, is the moment you start to remove dirt, the CPU load will go up, and you should see this in the performance graph. And depending on your CPU, you might actually see a lot of lag spikes there. The graphics, on the other hand, seems pretty stable. I've noticed in the new version, actually light does not really kill the FPS as hard as before, but I also only installed one light source, which probably makes things a little bit easier. So, then you can see how I work myself down to the next level here. What's really, as I said in my previous video, the immersion is really these simulations. If you are more into, less into the world building part, more in the operating simulation part of the game, I think virtual reality is really, it really adds. Because you see the bucket size, you get a feeling for the machine size when you're outside. Interestingly, first and third person work great as when you are running around. I would probably not use third person in the machine, because then you just lose, you know, like this turning there, you just lose all that immersion created through virtual reality. And then we are making good progress. The traction is still an issue with even in the new patch. I'm not really sure if it got improved. It was never a strong point of Out of Ore. It's an incentive to actually work and keep that working area very flat, which I think VR actually helps. The cutting point of the blade is, you will see this here, a little bit ahead, but you get used to it and then it's probably like, you know, using in the real machine, having 1 or 2 teeth keeping outside so you can drag them over the area you're working on. And you know, I'm not a friend, probably know this from my start videos. I play this for operating an excavator. I'm not playing this for driving a dump truck, not playing this to build a company. And so I try to build my sites in a way where I can spend a lot of time actually in the excavator. And not doing anything else but working my way into the pit with the excavator and not, you know, trying to get outside, exploding stuff. This is also, I try to work the terrain and dirt, or with a bucket. I try to avoid using the shovel. What would be really nice feature would actually be, I know this from Construction Simulator, if the tracks and tires of your vehicles would actually impact and flatten the ground. You know, probably not on solid rock, but like when you're working softer material. So the thing we need to change is, as usual, we need to move the hopper. Old rule still applies. About on the large excavator, about 1 bucket width, 4 bucket width are about roughly the length of the conveyor. So if I do 1 bucket here, 1 bucket here, I can always move the conveyor 2 units. 2 squares to the side. One thing I noticed is the new big excavator compared to the older no, this is not the big excavator, that's actually the medium-sized excavator, the 50-ton class. The 50-ton class, due to the change in the model, actually lost some reach. Probably got some more bucket capacity, but you lost some reach. So while before I could work my way always in this method, like 4 squares or one long conveyor length. There you see mouse is disturbing, get it out of the way. I now have to use the 0.2 unit, because else I'm out of reach. Oh yeah, we're doing some good money here. We're making some good money. Let's just already clean this up. You see, that's one of the first things that I usually do is be careful here. Also seems to be new, depending on the load in your bucket. It seems to become tougher to dig, which is also nice because then you finally get some resistance and you no longer are able to drag completely through everything. Oh, I love it. Just look outside. That's just the thing exactly why I play in VR. And as someone said, graphics don't make gameplay. They just need to be good enough. And this is also true in virtual reality. You know, I'm sitting here and the graphics of of Out of Ore to really do a good job. The game is performing, you know, pretty steady, only around 1%, reprojection ratio. Also, I have to say I disabled motion smoothing because it's too aggressive in Out of Ore with the injection, and so yeah. And it's just good enough, you know. It sounds also good enough, you know. I have the engine running in my background. It's revving up when I start to work. I have some sound from actually that more sounds like I'm crushing rock. Less so I'm moving dirt. But all in all, it's just a good experience. You know, it's fun. And it's extremely relaxing, you know, like a little bit like excavating in a rerun. Just so you sit here, you're doing stuff, you have to take a look around, coordinate yourself, think about what you're doing. So your work platform is pretty even. It's really just enjoying. Ah, there you see, it seems we're getting... Probably should add a wash plant soon, yeah? We might need to add a wash plant. Compared to other bulk dirt systems, I like that the dirt is actually moving when it's in the bucket. So this more gives you, you get a little bit more of the impression that you're actually moving a material. The question is, do we have enough money now to get a fresh new excavator? You know, because this one here it's old and probably getting tired. Let's take a look outside. So this is just, you know, it just looks nice. Good enough. You don't have to take a far look, but then the quality does look... Yeah, there's trees and textures there, but for everything close in, especially this, you know, the moving parts here in the canopy, these really add. Really add to the experience. Fun part is that when we look from outside, we actually see our avatar there, and I don't understand why he's gone here, but when we are outside, he's actually there, I think. So. you see we are working pretty quick here. Let's see. Feels like the excavator is kind of slightly sliding down here. Need to work a little bit on the back area so we have enough room to move back. We're sitting on something, you know, like we're wiggling. So something that changed from the walls to the bulk dirt is you no longer dig yourself in. That's actually one part which is that was more realistic with the dirt balls, because that's a real risk in a real excavator, that you drag all that dirt and material towards you. There's also some nice things. Let me show you here. The cutting box actually works while reversing. And while this is not perfect, this is pretty much like you're pushing the material away. Yes, it lands at the wrong place because, you know, it lands in front of your bucket. It's not building up behind, but it's kind of nice. That was more difficult with the balls. So, all in all, especially in virtual reality, I slowly get to really like the new dirt. On the flat screen, and really when I tested the new version, the first time I really was not so much into the new dirt, but now when just here sitting in virtual reality, I really have to say, you know, the animation also kind of makes it fun. You see those little textures, that dust that works there, that gives a nice impression. And let's not forget, it's more or less the only excavator game we have that really works in virtual reality. Now, time to move and to. We need to switch to high gear. High gear works well, much better when placing the machine. So. Let's see if we are here. That's not actually. As you can see here now, if I look down, you see actually the guy is there. I cannot stretch my arms out, but the guy is there. While in the cabin, he's not there. Would actually be fun. In Elite Dangerous, that was kind of an interesting experience. If you have. No, not the hopper. That one. Yes, there's the hopper. And those. Tock, tock. Let's see what we have. I can keep this for a little bit longer. Okay, the jumps is more like Mario style. So, let's do some final scoops before we end this showcase. And I hope you have fun seeing how this works. And also you try to probably get the game running VR. and enjoy it. Oh, there's new parts of this material. Nice. $300,000, yeah. I think we will soon be able to get a fresh factory. A factory fresh excavator. And if we take a look at the performance, you see over this session we played now is still at 1% time where the FPS was below 80. And 80 is in this rather slow paced gameplay from Out of War. It's enough. Yeah, we're really moving quick ahead. That's really just working this ground in virtual reality, a whole different thing. Because I can actually I have much better feeling where I'm in relation to the ground, how I'm standing, if I'm level or not. So, with that being said, some final scoops here. I hope you enjoyed this little showcase of Out of War version 25 in virtual reality. I hope you all have fun playing the game. And with that being said, have fun, bye bye.